what happened over the weekend in Australia at the Sydney Bridge in Australia? Gut churning. Just absolutely sickening. So what is happening to Australia? Do we even have a country anymore? Yeah, forget Israel, Palestine for a second, and this person, same thing. Same thing. Here's this influencer, Western civilization enjoyer, based anti-communist liberalism, right? He's got, 171,000 followers. And what does he say? Oh, yeah, just F Netanyahu. Just F Netanyahu, whatever. But, what happened in Australia is unbelievable. That we have tens of thousands, many tens of thousands, that stood on the bridge, and they promoted Islam. They're waving the flags of terror. Look at this. Breaking. Islamists declare that the Sydney Bridge in Australia belongs to them. This is what Islamists conquering your country looks like.
Here we are in Sydney. Crazy amount of people, traffic, rain. We don't want you to shower this evening. We've got to get out.
But this isn't in Iran. This isn't in Iran. This isn't anywhere in the Middle East. This is in Australia, Sydney, Australia, on the Sydney Bridge, the Harbour Bridge. And here we have, you know what that is right there? That's the Shahada. That's the first pillar of Islam, that flag right there. It's the same thing that these Islamists wear on their foreheads, or they wear it on their arms. What is the Shahada? Read it for yourself in Revelation chapter 13. The Shahada is the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the beast. And what is the Shahada, that first pillar of Islam? It is the declaration that there is no other God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet, is his messenger, is his sent one. Something that could not be further from the truth. It is absolutely 100% a satanic, demonic lie. The truth is that there is no other God but Jehovah, and Jesus is his prophet, is his messenger, is his sent one. That's the truth. But no, you got the Shahada, and here it is, tens of thousands on the bridge, all marching in support of Islam, waving the Shahada, waving the flag of Palestine, which is it's the white, red, black, and green, which is the colors of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, supporting all of this evil. Australia's iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge was shut down so the chants of terrorism and kill the Jews could be heard. What has become of this nation? Look at this. Antifada. They want to globalize the Intifada. Kill the Jews. Free Palestine. And that's what it means. When you say free Palestine, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, you're saying kill the Jews. That is exactly what you're saying. In fact, if I can find that post really quick here. Yeah. How about this? Free Palestine. Everybody's lining up for that. What about the save the Nigerian Christians from, the Islamists who are slaughtered by the Islamists? Oh, we don't care about them. Yeah. If it's not Jews, it's not news. Here's Keir Starmer talking about, hey, we need to create a state for Palestine, right? This is an absolute disgrace, and that he's here to fight Islamophobia. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a picture of a starving Palestinian. Yeah, look at those Palestinians. My goodness, they are just starving, just starving. Gotta find this post. Oh yeah, here. How about this? Hamas is seen firing mortars from a humanitarian tent surrounded by bags of humanitarian aid. Will the media report this? Here he is. Firing mortars from a humanitarian tent. Bags of humanitarian aid all around him. Here we go. Here's the video. So this is Benjamin Netanyahu, and he he tells you exactly what free Palestine means. When they're chanting free Palestine, they're really saying destroy Israel, destroy the Jews. It's the modern equivalent of Heil Hitler. And yes, he is 100% correct. Free Palestine is this. That is what free Palestine is. Come, let us destroy them as a nation so that Israel's name is remembered no more. Conspiring against the people of God and against the people that God cherishes. With one mind they plot together. Let's listen to this.
You don't know this. The protesters themselves, many of them don't even know what they're chanting. When they're chanting free Palestine, they're saying really, destroy Israel, destroy the Jews. It's the modern equivalent of Heil Hitler. That's what it says. When they say from the river to the sea is a few kilometers here, and the river is a few kilometers there. It means the end of Israel. That's what they're chanting. So they bought the demonization. They bought the vilification of the one democracy that is fighting a just war with just means. And here's what happens when this spreads and it goes to the ICC. The ICC, the court that was supposed to establish really after the Holocaust in order to prevent another Holocaust, and the ICC declares that I and former defense minister, effectively the state of Israel, they'll issue more decrees, we're the war criminals. What does it say to democracies? What does it say to free societies? It imperils your right of self-defense. It means that this tactic of implanting yourself in a civilian population while sending rockets and murderers to murder civilians, as you hide behind your own civilians, you are given effective immunity. And once this idea is implanted, it will spread and spread and spread. And spread to your own societies. So for the future of civilization, we can't have that.
It will spread and spread and spread like a cancer. And it's like, when it comes to the whole ridiculous,
the protesters
utterly
themselves,
ridiculous
many of them don't.
Two-state solution, Gaza, the Palestinians were given a state of their own by Israel in 2005, and they immediately turned it into a terrorist state. That's what happens when you give monsters a state of their own. They turn it into a place of terror. They ultimately bring the curses of the one and the only true God upon them to their destruction, which is exactly what we are seeing in Gaza. When it comes to the Gazans and the Palestinians, they are getting exactly what they deserve. They are totally getting exactly what they deserve. Now, the only ones that are, quote, innocent in Gaza are the smallest of the children. But they are raised up by their parents to be the next generation of bloodthirsty murderers. There comes a point when they become accountable to their own actions, and then they're not innocent anymore. They're under the curses of the Almighty, and may they be destroyed. And so when it comes to the Palestinians, they have brought all of this upon themselves. It is their fault, 100% their fault. It is not the fault of Israel. They are those that seek to destroy Israel as a nation so that Israel's name is remembered no more. And I just hate it that it's like people on the left, of course the people on the left are going to side with Islam. The Democrats are basically the Islamocrats. That's what the Democrats are today. They're the Islamocrats. I mean, they're looking right now to elect full-blown communist Zoran Mandami as mayor of New York City. So it's like, okay, they're total Islamocrats. So I'm not surprised in the least by what the political left is doing in hating Israel. But the political right, they also hate Israel. A tremendous number of them. The biggest influencers, they hate Israel, reaching tens of millions of people, siding with these people that, siding with the monsters and standing against the good. And here we have, Keir Starmer. You got to see this because, of all of the problems that are happening in his nation, and there's a lot of them, he doesn't want to focus on any of those problems. Here's the number one issue that he's going to combat. He's going to combat this.
I'm sending my warmest wishes to everyone at tonight's iftar. I'm sorry I'm not able to join you, but I want to give a special thanks to the APPG on British Muslims for the brilliant work that you do to highlight issues affecting British Muslims and celebrate their achievements. Your work on the definition of Islamophobia has been exemplary. As leader of the Labour Party, I am utterly committed to eradicating Islamophobia from my party and from society. I'm sending my warmest wishes.
Just like, it's unbelievable. It's like, you are the head of a nation that is failing, and is failing because of your own stupid policies, your leftist policies, and your mass open borders policies, mass immigration of these Islamists. Your nation, I mean, the UK is looking at being a full-blown Islamic state in the very near future. And all of these problems when it comes to the UK, where they arrest people for posting memes. They arrest people, Brits, actual Brits, that have been there and they have family history in Britain going back for 1,000+ years. They arrest actual Brits just for saying that Islam is wrong, Islam is evil, or speaking out, oh dear me, speaking out against Muhammad. How dare they? They are arresting people for praying silently out in front of abortion clinics. It's like, Starmer, you've got the most insane level problems of your nation, but is he going to focus on any of those? No. His main concern, Islamophobia. I'm gonna combat Islamophobia because that's the biggest problem that we're facing right now. I mean, it's done. Like, the UK is like, it's done. It is done. Oh, but getting back to Australia, here they are seeking to globalize the Intifada, kill the Jews, free Palestine, and that's what they're saying. They're saying destroy Israel, destroy the Jews, kill the Jews. Right there. There it is. Okay, right there. We've got the Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, one of the sickest, most vile humans on planet Earth, and then all of these flags of Palestine. That right there, that's a symbol of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Conquest, white; war, red; black, famine; green, death. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. And they are all standing for it and waving it. And they're supporting this pure evil. Long live the Intifada. Like, it's... Oh. Oh, praise God, at least that there's still some people that have, they've not lost their minds. I saw this video, and this is worth a watch. Let's check this out.
All right, well, look, let's go back to that protest today. Joining us now for more on this is One Nation leader Pauline Hanson. Senator, really appreciate your time. Let's talk about the scenes we saw on the Harbour Bridge. We've got terror flags being waved. You've got death to the IDF being chanted, the Iran Ayatollah, a photo of them. What has happened?
Death to the IDF, and also kill the Jews, globalize the Intifada, long live the Intifada. Tens of thousands of people, Muslims and Australians, just Australian, citizens of Australia, just packing the Harbor Bridge. I mean, it's, Australia's right on the heels of the UK, about ready to fall.
To Australia.
Danica, I'll go back to my maiden speech in 1996, and I advocated what the country would be like under multiculturalism. And then when I actually went back in Parliament in 2016 in my speech then, I advocated again about Islam and the impact it would have on our country. Most of these people there flying the Palestinian flags, they're pushing their own agenda, fundamentalist Islam in Australia. And that's what it's about. They're pushing their own agenda. They're using Palestine as the, cursor. This is what it's all about, humanity. And you're right, everything that the both of you said, I endorse fully. Where was the humanity about this man who's actually in this tunnel, skin and bone? What about his, not being fed? What about him dying? What about the other hostages? This could be stopped immediately by releasing the hostages. Hamas have said they have no intentions of stopping going after till Israel is destroyed. The sign said, deaths to the IDF. That's all they want. They're pushing their own agenda. And stupid Australians, and I will call them stupid, simpletons, dumbed down, have no idea.
Amen. Stupid Australians, and I will call them stupid because they are stupid. Dumbed down, idiotic, godless heathens that side with the pure evil of Islam.
What they're doing. And you're right, James, and asking those two people, the smiles on the faces, it tells me you wouldn't have a clue. And these people have been dumbed down so much. I have no fear there are people there are really concerned about the welfare of the people and the women and children, those people who can't, get themselves out of there and the starvation that's happening. And it's horrible to see. But remember, Hamas started this nearly 2 years ago when they actually murdered 1,200 people and took those hostages. Hamas have advocated they will not keep, won't give up. They don't want a two-state solution. They're using their own people as fodder. These people who are martyrs in their own right stand up for what Islam stands for and the values. They are martyrs. And people don't know what the hell is going to happen. We need to reflect on other countries around the world when the tentacles of Islam have encroached on those countries and what it's done to those countries. They're no longer, those proud countries that we remember of 50 or even 100 years ago. Australia's heading down that path. And for Australians to actually get out there and protest, it made me sad, made me so upset to see it. And to think that a judge, a lefty-leaning judge, did not listen to the government's advice or the police advice and overruled and let it happen, it should never have been allowed.
Like there's still some people, that are sane, still some people that are, standing with Israel, but it's generally speaking, it's those of the older generation. The older generation, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and, Mike, Johnson, the bit older generation. And when it comes to those on the political right being raised up by these influencers, they're being raised up to hate Israel. Now, maybe they're not, at the point where they're joining leftist lunatics where they're, parading down, the streets, waving the flag of Palestine or, waving the image of, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran. But it's heading in that direction. It's heading in that direction. You got leftists that just completely hate Israel and the Jews. And now you got plenty of people on the right that are doing the same.